All right, so let's move on to the issue of DDS and Dilawan. So the DDS and Dilawan, these are just smear terms. In the United States, they have this, like I said, Democrats and Republicans. They don't have a politics of personality or cult of personality. Although a lot of Trumpers somehow exude or manifest politics of personality. No, it's just that it's more of embodying the politics of the party, of the new party, which is the Republican Party. What I can say is that Trump supporters are more of cathartic supporters. They are simply supporting, most of them are supporting Trump because they feel that they are victims of liberal policies, liberal violence, for example. So, but still the same thing. Okay, the liberals are for their own causes, their policies, while Republicans are for limited government, more more freedom, for freedom of speech, freedom to own guns, etc. But the problem is for Republicans, they are against abortion. I myself, I'm actually in favor of abortion. I'm an atheist. I don't consider myself conservative. I consider myself a small L libertarian, like I said earlier. So I'm in favor of abortion, but okay, here's the thing. I'm not in favor of state-funded abortion. So what I'm trying to say is the Democrats or liberals in America and the Republicans or conservatives in the United States are more in favor of ideas. They are for ideas. They talk about ideas. It's not about personalities. So Trump or Biden or Clinton, these are just representation of these policies that they support. Whereas in the Philippines, it's more of cult of personality. It's either your Dilawan or your DDS. Okay? But what does that mean? What does Dilawan or DDS mean? It's either you're for us or against us. And that's what the DDS tactic is all about. Labeling the other side as Dilawan, regardless of whether you're against or in favor of the Dilaw politics or the 30 politics. So I myself, I'm actually critical of both because I believe that there's a better alternative. What they tell you is there's no alternative at all. That's what they're telling you. It's either you're against us or for us. So if you are critical of the 30 government, they're gonna call you Dilawan, as if that's gonna hurt you. As if that's is me, it's me. Yeah, they're basically using it as a smear term. Like I said, it's an insult for them. Whereas if I'm gonna get called Dilawan, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you insane? You must be on some kind of special crack or drugs. I mean, I don't even know what Dilawan means. What they mean is, you are against Duterte, therefore you are for the Ninoy Aquino or the Aquino oligarch system, political system. So it's more about personality. It's not about ideas at all. So they don't talk about ideas because they don't know anything at all. All right. So, like I said, in the United States, they talk about ideas. They talk about ideas. About what I mean by ideas is they debate these ideas. Although, on the part of the Democrats and liberals, they riot. They to express their ideas. They spread violence. They riot. They loot. The Democrats fund the looters, the BLM, the Antifa. Okay, but still, they don't. They're not anchoring or attaching whatever their ideas to one personality, like they do in the Philippines. So it's still about abortion. They're in favor of abortion for the liberals. They're in favor of mass regulation of businesses. They're in favor of taking over other industries, for example. They're against gun ownership. They talk about ideas. They talk about ideologies. It's ideological based, not personality based. Okay, in the Philippines, it's the other way around. They don't talk about ideas. Okay, they talk about personalities. Either you're for Dilawan or you're for DDS. All right, and I don't want to engage in that kind of childish display of ignorance. Right, it's a childish display of gullibility and ignorance. That you know, there's this saying that smart people talk about ideas. Stupid people talk about people. They talk about personalities because they don't have any ideas at all. Their minds are incapable of discussing things civilly and rationally. And that's the reason why we have this type of politics. So we cannot talk about lowering our taxes. I think one politician tried to do that. Mr. Belgica, if I'm not mistaken, who's not the member of the DDS or DDS, the 30 government. I think he was appointed to a particular position, which is, I think, something that I really like about the 30. One of the things, but our politics is more on politics of or cult of personality. We don't talk about ideas, and it's not just the fault of the media or the politicians, but the people themselves. They're like talking about GMA 7 versus ABS-CBN, right? It's like showbiz government. That's the reason why whenever we have these elections, it's all about personality. We when are we gonna have the time in which we're gonna look past the cult of personality and start talking about ideas? That in order for us to have a better economy, we need to have a better system. Right. There talks about two-party system is going to be a good starting point, although they're totally misplaced in their understanding of the two-party system as applied in the United States. But in my own opinion, if we need to have a better economy, we need to have a better system. And for us to have a better system, we're going to start with the Constitution. And it's time for us to amend or revise the Constitution. That's going to be in favor of economic progress. Other countries did that. Singapore, for example. How did Singapore become economic power in Asia? Okay, it's because they have a freer economy. And what makes a freer economy? Okay, what makes an economy freer and more liberate? It's the Constitution. Our Constitution is not actually allowing for that to happen. We have the 60-40 ownership arrangement. It's our Constitution is in favor of protectionism, protecting the oligarchs in this country. Well, it's not just the fault of the politician, but the so-called intellectuals in this country, because they don't talk about this. Our intellectuals are left-leaning. They are the liberals in the U.S. They are more for regulations. They are more for protectionism. And that's the reason why we're going to vote to the issue of Trump.